What up, manga fans? I'm back with another video on chapter 11 of Steelboat Run. The race is kind of over. This portion of the first stage ends in the next chapter. So it means at least episode 1, or that total, maybe a total of 11 12 or so chapters. With some changes here and there. Supposedly. There's a lot of things going on with that. We're just going to wait and see if David Productions managed to fix some mistakes they made with Stone Ocean, which I don't think wasn't even their fault in the first place. That was due to a lot of issues behind the scenes. Anyway. And well, here's a hint at the relationship Johnny and Gyro will have throughout the part. Because it's a hinted at here about this. So, the chapter continues with the race. As the finish line for the first stage is up ahead. They're going head to head. Because Poco Loco and Sandman are both in front of Gyro right now. And Johnny has to deal with Diego. Yeah, Johnny knows what Diego's going to do. They're both jockeys. But Johnny, not going to give up. Johnny Joestar, is going to surpass it's going to surpass Gyro in the race. It's not techniques and stuff. Get what I mean? What a Johnny da! I mean, it'd be funny thing if the anime actually has that. What a Johnny da! As a reference to What a Deal da from part 1. A sort of nice little nod to the type of. I'm just saying, just a little hint of that part. Not much relationship, but more something like the. I'm trying to say it's something like the old one days. Just a nod to part 1 when Dio kissed Arena. You say in this alternate universe, Jonathan's getting this little payback. Even though it's not exactly the same character, but you get what I mean. In just a weird sort of sense, it's sort of getting payback. I'm just saying, that would be very fun dialogue, but who knows if they do it. And like I said many times, Steelboat Run anime with the first JoJo part, I'm actually with the entire story beforehand. Like long before this was announced, by the way. I read the manga. It's a review I'm not really that proud of, sadly. That's why I plan to reread once eventually JoJo starts. I'm going to plan to reread this version on the Shonen Jump app. But I think I'll wait till JoJo has done its English release. If it is releasing soon. Most likely won't release straight away. Most likely you'll get announced for 2027. Since the 8th volume comes out in August. So, or maybe will be announced then. Usually announced for 2026. And they just usually announce the lineups for those in the late years, later on in the year. So mostly we'll get an announcement of JoJo, and if volume 8 is the last volume of Steelboat Run in English, some point after the summer. I'm guessing, I don't know. But curious to see what standings will have changed. As we've seen, Soft and Wet's name stayed the same. Of course, Killer Queen become Deadly Queen, like in before. But will the Higashikata family stance be changed? Like California King Beth, King Nothing, Speaking, Nut King Cole, Walking Hearts, Awakening 3 Leaves, Space Trucking. And also K-Stand, Born This Way. Will that be changed? We don't know what stand names are going to be changed in that part. But I made a whole list of all the stands from all the parts of JoJo on Facebook, on the Shonen Jump fans group and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan group. My group has the Steel Ball run and I post images. Who knows? By the time Steel Ball, the JoJo translation finishes in the future in English, the JoJo Lands translations will still be ongoing. So it will still take time, but we might be able to catch up in a couple months after. Well, if it'll be behind, but band translations are pretty good. One of JoJo's stand November Rain might get changed. Think about all the JoJo stands that name changed. Star Platinum stayed the same. Josuke's Crazy Diamond got renamed to Shining Diamond. JoJo's Golden Experience got renamed to Golden Wind. Johnny's Stone Free got renamed to Stone Ocean. Well, Johnny's is the first protagonist since Jotaro do not have his stand's name change. It's still going to be known as Tusk. It's still going to be the same. So there's no indication of a name change. So mostly it'll still be that called. But Gyro's... that's why I have later, but Gyro's eventual stand Ball Baker. Will his name be changed? If I can have a stand, what do I call? I call mine Eye of the Tiger. Well, that name is because I like the Katy Perry song. The other one. I'm not going to say the lyrics, but I like listening to that back in school for some reason. It is a good song, don't get me wrong. I'm just going to name my stand after it. Not a music lover, but Eye of the Tiger sounds like a good name. Just got to pick up its abilities and its design. I never once attempted to draw a fan out of JoJo. Not once. Because I know where I can replicate that style. Piece of shit. Anyway, Johnny as a person in Diego. Diego was unaware that Johnny was actually a jockey as well. Interesting. Johnny did mention he saw Diego in action years ago when he was about kids. Since Diego was unaware of Johnny. And just none of the other races, not even the staff are aware of his name. Because his horse does not have a number. Because managed to tame it right before the race started. He did. So it didn't have time to number it, I guess. So no one knows he's Johnny Joestar. And I really hope to make an Eyes of Heaven R someday. Because that would be cool to have the updated cast and stuff coming for part 7. But my criticism is the ending. More simply, what happens to some of the characters. I don't know something, but this is going to be a bit of a spoiler for the ending of the game. So basically, after JoJo defeats Dio over Heaven, he rewrites reality, returning everything back to normal, except Kakuin, Iggy, and Abdul survived their fights. Yeah. Remember, if you're familiar with JoJo, you know those 3 characters died in their battles. And that's the whole point. They're not the only ones who were alive. Caesar's also alive in part 2, part 3, and part 1, Zeppeli's alive too, and Jonathan survives the end of part 1. Making the whole events of part 3 kind of pointless. You know? Did we get that today? Oha in part 5, Bakio and Arancha are alive, and Bucciarati, alongside Fugo, who did not leave the team. On part 4, Shigechi and I are alive, and seems Castle Kawajiri is also alive. Not the original one, not the one possessed by Kira. So, then. And part 6, Foo Fighters and Weather Report survived too, and all the other characters survived the end of the universe. So, well, spoiler for later on, Gyro survives the events of Part 7. Yeah, that's my main criticism of that game's ending. Bringing back characters whose deaths were serve the purpose of the story. It's just fan fiction that didn't not showing any consequences of the story. I don't care if it's not canon. Some of them have major replications on the story. A lot of them have major replications on the story, like against Jonathan surviving the events of Part 1. Zachary also surviving. His point was to pass his power on to Jonathan to defeat Dio. It was thanks to him that, thanks to that power, they managed to take down, defeat Dio once and for all, to the bound ship, but you know what I mean. And Jonathan's death was the whole point of Part 3, as Dio took his body. But nope. So yeah, it has very ramifications in the story. And Caesar's death is also an emotional way for Joseph to be more careful with his words from now on. As the last thing he said to his friend was something harsh, and his friend eventually died. At no point of most of the Gangstar's deaths and Brugo's leaving the team serves the purpose of the story. Shigechi's death was just more of a showcase of Kyo's powers. I'm okay with him I don't care if he was alive or not. They could just use another character for that, but Shigechi was killed off way too early. Right after his debut. So yeah, but Stone Ocean. Again, FF's death and one more step helped motivate the characters to take down Poochie once and for all. Again, it helps add personal touch to the story. If this game was remade with all of Part 8's content included, then they probably have Jobin survive as well. And Kato. It's just that I don't like that they did. I'm happy the characters survive, but the deaths serve a poor purpose in the story. Don't pull a Marvel or DC. As Rocky never once brings back his characters from the dead, not once. Like some shonen titles do. Some series have main characters die. Like killed off by the final arcs. Right. Hey. Johnny, Gyro, Poco Loco, Ant-Man and Diego go head to head to get to the finish line. And well, Uncle Loco's luck comes in handy again, as he has him in front. Johnny wants to tell Johnny he's impressed he managed to make it this far. Catch up to him. You know, so he had his own little technique in the waiting. As basically, his oak ended up creating, with the power of steel balls, created a type of sail, like on a ship, allowing Gyro to come first place for this stage. And the chapter there, well, I'd say really good. I like this story. And it's only been a little bit the Eyes of Heaven game. I even covered it on my game channel. Like, it was just easy to get through too. I mean, like, just specifically on my characterizations. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I recommend you play it if you can. It's on the PS. You can play it on PS4 and PS5. So, and I really do hope they make a remaster version. Still no word on any new DLCs. Should look at our festival stuff, but are being supported. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy my content. Please hit the thumbs up button. Want to see more? Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll be up to date always because you're in the future. I'll see you guys later for the end of the stage and future bows for tonight. Super Jump out.